is Nitin Goswami from NG Networks, and this is our webinar on the network security domain. So let's have a quick look of the attendees. We have the attendees here, and okay. So, guys, to make it more feasible and useful for everyone, so you have an option there. The questionnaire, you can ask the question from the right side of your screen. You have that what we called the control panel of the GoToWebinar, so you can ask the questions and keep your question path there. I'll definitely pick one by one whatever you have, you want to ask or you want to share with me, or whatever the doubts you have, so we can discuss about it. Okay, guys. So likewise, we have. Let me have the another PC on so we can have quickly. I can write about it as well. Okay, so just give me a frequent second. And, so let me log in from there. We can start. So let's take a quick review, guys, with yes or no. Am I audible to you and visible? My screen is visible. My webcam is visible to everyone. You can type yes or no quickly on the questionnaire screen. Okay, Ganesh, yes. Yes, it's nice. The more frequently you will say yes or no, then you will get a frequent reply as well. Okay, just give me a second. Okay. Link CNP, and so we need to quickly see the Namita's ID, and we will just check out the status of the webinar. Okay. That's great. Okay, number you have to mention. So I will give my number as well. So I just want to share the what we call the writing skills screen as well. So we can type. We can just go through the exact motto what we have, and okay, now we are connected here as well. Yeah, great, guys. So guys, the topic we have is like about the network security domain, and I believe you guys having what we call the idea about the networking domain. You people are planning for the security or the networking blah blah things. So just I want to share each and everything with you, or I want to share the exact idea behind this webinar and how it works. So let me pop it down. Okay. So I'm available in online, so I can see the queries on my phone as well. So okay. Yeah, guys. So let me introduce myself first. My name is Nitin Goswami, and I'm a senior founder of NG Networks, and simultaneously I'm a consultant as well in the NGIT Global Solutions. So that firm works for the consulting part in the networking. Somehow we accumulated few awards in the training and placement both, especially in network and network security. So today the topic that we have is that why should I choose the network security? What is exactly the network security, and what is the impact of this lockdown, or you can say this corona, which is impact the entire global, you can say the global, it's a pandemic problem that we have. And the impact is highly visible on the market, as you know, as you are aware. So you must, somewhere at back of your mind, you have lots of questions. So I come in front of you. This is the reason why I just initiate this webinar, so we can talk about it, we can discuss it, and you can plan what will be the benefit of after completion of this webinar. You have a certain idea about the market, and you can plan your career accordingly. So what you have to do after completion, after of this webinar, you can plan accordingly in the network security domain. So guys, let's talk about the first, what exactly is the network security domain. It's a very vast. Okay, I cannot just talk about network security domain within the time constraint of 1 hour or 1.5 hours. So so you have certain, we'll just take this advantage of this webinar step by step. Okay, we'll start with the very basic thing, that the very basic part that you have in your mind. What is network security? Okay, network security is very vast. You have the different the verticals to choose in it, like the basic, that CompTIA and all, then the vendor specific, then the cyber security part, that CEH, the CSSP, all these certification, number of certifications are there. So basically, network security is something that helps you out, or basically gives your company where you are going to work to make it secure from the hackers or from the intrusion of the data stolen and blah blah problems they have. So all these certifications somewhat help you out, or help the companies to just get rid of these problems. Okay, that we have the mischievous activities on the internet. They are different level of the security. Okay, and we're gonna talk about all the certainty that we have in this domain, and definitely it will help you out to understand more on the same. We have one more question. Yeah. So Vivek, I'm coming with these questions in the continuously when I'm talking about this firewalls, and I mean to say the security part. And by the end of this webinar, you will come to know about the what we call the most required firewalls that you require to pursuing your career, or how you get the network security best for your career. We will answer each and everything, and I'll try my level best. Okay, guys. As I told you that what is network security. Okay, next part, how to choose the right certification. Next part that you have back of your mind, how to choose the right certification for your career. Okay, for that I need to divide the aspirant, that is your profile, in certain 2 or 3 parts. Okay, one who did not have any background, neither in IT nor in networking, like that profiles. So let's call them the beginner. No need to call them beginner. Let's the entry level candidates. Okay, when they don't have any background, so people used to call them to go for CCNA initially, go for CompTIA exam, Security Plus, all these things. Okay, and trust me, how did you get to know more about this certification? From the institute only. So the major problem part, the सबसे बड़ा problem part, and the major important the problem area that we have, the knowledge of this certification has been delivered by the different institute. What is institute? The institute term I'm using, the training center that providing the certification training for the different programs in the market, be it in the networking security or anywhere in the world, any other in this domain. Okay. So what we have, what I just want to convey you that when we talk about the network security, okay, when we talk about the network security, so when you go and when you visit any of the institutes, so what best curriculum they have, the certifications they have, the trainers they have, they will recommend you to start. Okay, they will recommend you to start with the CCNA security. They may recommend you to start with the CompTIA Security Plus, or any of that part. To be very frank, yes, this is something that is required in the beginning level. I won't deny that this is an effect, but you should have a certain picture about it. You should have a certain picture about it. So let me give you a visual presentation for the same. So let me share my screen on the another laptop. So just give me a second, bro. Stay connected so I can have quickly what we call a PowerPoint presentation we will take. So I can write about it, and I need to make myself as an. I need to search me. Yes, here I am, and as I'm connected from the web, so it's showing me the difficult task to show you as an analyst here. But no worry, we'll find out some solution for that. We'll go ahead. Okay, no worry. So initially, I'll talk about the very basic exams what we have in this domain. What we have in this domain. So like when we talk about it and about the network security, and as I told you that you will go to any institute and the guys, the institute advise you what they have the best in the certification. They advise you to go with that exam, just go with that certification, that this is the best for your career and blah blah things. So this is not the exact this is something that we cannot call a perfect counseling for you. We cannot call it as a perfect counseling for you. And so how we get the best answer, that how to start in the security, how to start in the security part. So let me take on the same laptop, let me take on a screen. From the another we cannot access the screen. Yeah, okay. So I need a white screen, white picture. So let me open the pages would be okay. Yeah. Let me make a new one. I want a new white sheet so I can discuss about it. Yes. Okay. So let me share my screen. Now my screen is visible to everyone. Quickly, yes or no? My white screen is visible to everyone. Yes. From the Ganesh only, but about the others, guys, मेरी screen visible है सबको? I'm looking forward for your reply, so I will start accordingly. I'm muted. Yes, you people are muted. This is my default feature. What we have. Let me check. Let me allow my writing pad quickly. Okay. I think it is done and it's working. Yes, it is working. So let's take it to the full screen so we can discuss about it. Okay. And I need another pen. Okay, it is good to go. So when I said that it is something that we are doing in the marketing about the network security. So what we have is network security. Okay, we are going to cover about the network security. And guys, trust me, my handwriting is not at all good. So just try to cooperate with me. Okay, network security that we are going to cover. So when you plan for the network security part, first your profiles are divided. Let's take it. You don't have any background in the IT background. Next, you have background like network knowledge, or you have the basic security knowledge like CompTIA or CCNA, some kind of that. Okay. So if you don't have any background, so guys, you have certain certification you can plan. That is again a divided one. Okay. You can go with the CompTIA, that you can security plus. You can plan that A plus and N plus. Yeah. But together they are going to cover in the CCNA security. But guys, we don't have the CCNA security in the market now, as we have the CCNA, and this CCNA is valid for the guys who does not have the background, and for those having the background, CCNA is valid for them. And those already having the networking background, then obviously they have the knowledge of the CCNA. So I won't recommend them. So now the CCNA, which is like the 200-301, the exam code 200-301. So this is the recommended one to start in, and you can plan to skip if you want to go for the two ways of the securities we have. Either you can plan just for the vendor specific, or you can plan for the cyber security, info, application based. So these are the numerous part. So I have seen many students who those are just quickly start their career in the cyber info or the application security. But trust me, guys, if I'm giving you something, I'm just sharing my knowledge with you. I won't recommend you to go directly with this certification program. Instead, just have some vendor knowledge. Why? Like if you are passionate about it, like then the things are different. But yes, if you are the job specific person, then go for the vendor specific. Vendor specific what? Like you have the Cisco, you have Juniper, you have Checkpoint, you have Palo, you have Fortinet. Oh, I mean to say Fortinet is the firewall name of the company, Fortinet. So these are the vendor specific domains. So after CCNA, I would recommend to go for the any vendor specific when you don't have any background. So you can skip all this part and directly you can plan for the CCNA, and then you can plan for the vendor specific firewalls. This will give you a good base. And what if you ask me, what should I recommend you to choose the best in this in the vendor based certification or the firewalls? So I would recommend to go with the you can go with the like Checkpoint, Palo, or the FortiGate. Okay, what certifications do you have in this all this Checkpoint, Palo Alto, and FortiGate? This will I'll share soon. So this is something that I want to share for the guys who's having background and the ones don't have the background. For the guys who's having the background in the networking or the basic knowledge in the networking, either they can also choose the vendor specific. They can go for the Checkpoint, Palo Alto, FortiGate, even in the Cisco's ASA or the Firepower. So let's write the name first, then later we'll talk about the product name. So this is the vendor. So they can also plan for the vendor specific, but these guys almost probably have that CCNA security type of knowledge. So they can also go for other products, like he can choose for the Checkpoint, Palo. I must recommend them for the Fortinet. That is good to go. And the guy who's having the network background knowledge, what they can do, they can plan first with the network experience, and later they can move for the cyber security part, or they can simultaneously they can also plan for the cyber security part. So we now we have two things to talk about. This is something those people are going to start the career. They having 1 or 2 years of experience. They may have the same experience, or they may are the beginner, but they anyhow they have to choose the certification knowledge as per that. I just type down the basic about the name of vendor or either the basic certification. So let me clear the picture of the certification step by step. Let me check anybody having any doubt till here. So let me check my questionnaire down there. Yes, Mr. Abhishek, this is something that what you are asking. Yeah, Abhishek only asked me something. So let me go ahead and just clean my Google. Okay. So this is something that I finished up. So vendor base, what you can do, you can plan for the like in the we have numerous option in the market, like Cisco itself. Cisco previously giving the CCNA security, but it stopped and giving the same knowledge in the CCNA. So you can plan for the CCNA 200-301. Then you can plan what else? You can plan for the you can either go for the ASA, Firepower, the next generation, which is covered in CCNP, and CCNP itself divided into two parts. When you plan for the CCNP security exam, so now first we have to give the core exam. What is the core exam we have here? So that is something like 350-701 is the core exam, and we call it score. The Cisco call it score. the core exam. It's all from score. And then you have to choose in a concentration exam. And definitely, I would suggest you to go for the which option for the concentration exam. You should choose the SNF. Okay, that is 300, 710. That is SNF, SNCF. Okay, so this is something that I would recommend you to choose for the concentration exam in the Cisco. So this is something that you can choose in the vendors of the Cisco, CCN and CCNP. But let's talk about the most demanded one, that is Palo Alto. There we have PCNSC. Yes, unbeatable in the Palo Alto. Then we have the 48. You can plan for the 48 firewall. And then we have the checkpoint and the CCSA, which is very basic. And along that part, you can choose the CCSA. This is something that you can do in terms of the vendors. You can plan accordingly. And which firewall is the most relevant to do? Yes, I won't deny the fact that you can start from the you can have enough basic about the ASA by your own anyhow. Then you can plan for the 48 and the Palo Alto. Yes, this is the most trusted one. But I won't say that trust me 100%, or you should have a trust on 100% on me. So this is something, being I'm an owner of an institute as well, and in the beginning I said कि कोई भी institute हो उसके पास जो products होते हैं वो वही sell करता है, वो उसको ही recommend करता है. The same line I will stick on that line. So that's why definitely later and sooner we will call someone from the real time and we'll talk about it. So अभी मैं यहाँ पे clear कर दूँ vendor वाला. Once you have a certain picture of the vendors, I believe this is something based on the vendors you can plan. CCNP security is not available in the market, so we have CCNP security. And in the CCNP security, yes, completely based on the next generation firewall. Next generation firewall, what is that? Firepower. Yes, you can either choose the firepower, then you can choose the Palo Alto firewalls and the 48 firewalls. So all these firewalls are the premium firewalls, you can say the most demanded in the market. And when you have the option to choose, you can choose the 2 firewall at least. What I said, let me repeat my line. You have to choose at least 2 firewalls. Yes, at least 2 firewalls you need to choose. Okay, so let's PCNSC you can plan, and the 48 you can plan. The 48 is the name of the firewall which is made up by the 48. Yeah. So this is something I have shared here regarding the vendor. Let me pick the question here if we have anyone. I'm certified MCSA and CCNA. I want to move on cloud. What will be the plan? So, boss, if you are planning to move on the cloud, so we have a cloud is again an ocean. Why I'm calling it an ocean? So, if what you need to check it out your perspective. You can go for the solution architect. Okay, you can plan for the solution architect if you want to go for like AWS and Azure, all these streams, and you want to go for the deployment part and that thing. But yes, if you want to go for the security kind of thing, then you can plan for the CCSP. Okay, this is something related to the Cisco, the certified cloud the security professional. So this is related to the cloud. So you can choose either out of them. Okay, that you are getting from the AWS and the Azure, the solution architect. Even they also giving the certification. These vendors, if I'm talking about the vendors, the AWS and Azure, both are giving the certification. Which the highly demanded is the solution architect. And yes, if you want to, because this seminar is for the network security, so they both have the security certifications as well, the secure what we call it. Or if you want to go for the open standard, then you can plan for the CCSP. So let me take the next question. If someone does not have any experience in security, does vendor specific course help him or get the job? Yes, Mr. Agnit, vendor specific is the best option as per my words and as per my previous picture. What I recommended that you should go for this what we call it vendor specific course. Yeah. Let me pick the another one. It is what is the difference between cyber info application? Yes, we'll start about it. We'll talk about it. We'll take this question from the real time guy, but I will give you the rough picture about the same. Let me delete it. Okay. Yeah. Where's my pen? Yes, here it is. Okay, so you can later on you can plan for the cyber security. You can also plan for the cyber security, which is highly not recommended in the beginning. Okay, let me have something sweet. Just change the taste. Yeah. What we have in the cyber security, how we can start. Look, if you plan for the cyber security or the security, again, I would recommend that you can also plan from the CompTIA Security Plus for the basic one. Okay, you can choose A plus, N plus, the programs here. So this is something else. We are not going from the CCNA one, not from the vendor specific. Now we are going from the cyber security part. And you can plan for the CH, then sense. This is something again the basic one, and then you can plan for the yes, the most demanded word, that is the CISSP and the CISM. But they required a great experience, at least 4 to 5 years of experience in the real time things. So these are the certification. That is, do not get confused with the vendor specific certification. Okay, this is the open standard one. They are again the highly demanded, but you will find that these certification mostly recommended by the companies itself to the running employees, to the current employees, and the vendor specific is something that you can choose from the outside to get entered into the networking domain. Yeah. So this is something I want to share about the network security part. What is the exact way to get better in it? Okay. So like let's take any example of any enterprise company. Let's take an Excel or the Capgemini, or you may plan for the Accenture, any of these companies. Okay, be it with any companies. Let's say if you have chosen the, they have the demand for both. What the cyber, the what we call the network security, they have the demand. Let's say they have any project. Like let's take an example of Bank of America. So they have the project of the Bank of America. Now the security of the Bank of America. Let's talk about the network security. Is in the hand of these enterprises. Any of them. We can take the any of them. Let's talk about the Capgemini. So we have a specific team that is network. Under the network, like we have the IT domain. In the IT, we have an option which is we call infrastructure domain. Infrastructure domain, right? In the infrastructure, we have networking. In the networking, we have the domain which is like when we have the data that you are very much aware, data is routing switching part. Then we have the security, and this specific team will talk about the network security. So they may have the different firewalls and the functions of the firewalls to secure the data center, their entire environment. So they keep the firewalls in their, like we have a different layers, access layer, distribution layer, and core layer. This is something technical, not your cup of tea. So just I want to share a brief about it. So to just make the environment, like when a PC is connected from the very basic part and it wants to go out. So this is something what we call layers. So it has to cross this certain layers and then reach out to the internet. So between that, we will keep place the firewalls here. We will keep place the firewall here to make it secure. And one more thing we can add along with the vendors specific. Here we have a device which we call as a load balancer. Okay, and F5 is something which is always in the high demand. That we call something that you can plan anytime along with your certification training. Okay, so this is something I was trying to explain you in the enterprises like these companies are hiring. So you have a certain idea about yourself that where I am going, what type of team I will be getting, and after that what will be the level I will get. Okay. So the last part, what you should have, you should be aware of that. So it's like the levels. So like companies will hire L1, L1 plus, L2, L2 plus, L3. So this is kind of a level. So basically, you will be freshers or the 0.6 months of experience guys, or the 1 plus years of experience guys are hired in the L1. Then we have the L1 plus profile. So this is something that most probably you will get the experience of the 2 plus years. Then you would be recommended for the L plus 1. Then we have 4 plus. Then we have the 5 plus, 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it is. When you have this experience, so you can start your career like easily. that 4 plus here, and you can reach out to the 7 plus here easily. And in the 4 plus, you can plan 10 plus package. Like we have many people in my environment that working in 12 lakh, 13 lakh, being an L2, they're working the package of extreme good. So this is something I'm talking about, the standard level and the package in the market. Okay. So then after that, nobody can just give you the concrete answer that after 5 plus experience, you may have 15, you may have 16, or you may have 20 as well. Okay. Because you are not going to add just here, you must have a 2 firewalls knowledge with the basic knowledge of network data with the 2 firewalls. Or later on, you can plan to add like F5, I mean to say the load balancer knowledge. Instead of writing the F5, I'll type load balancer. You will add the load balancer. The package goes high. More high, then you will add more specific knowledge of the different vendors. Then go ahead. Few people choosing the move out to the CISSP. Then again, it's on a good plan. After getting some experience, they will give a good hike like 15 lakh plus. Again, it's in a like holistic training planning when you have. So you will go with this planning, this plan of action. So this is something what we call the track you can choose as per the network security domain. Let me check what questions I have till here. I'm certified MCSC and CCNA. I want to move on to cloud. What will be the plan? I already shared. Okay. If I am fresher in IT, Ganesh, I told you if you are fresher in IT, so what you can do, you can plan accordingly. What accordingly? You can start from the very basic level. You can, if you want to go for the vendor specific, then you can plan from the CCNA. And after the CCNA, because now the updated curriculum of the CCNA, what we called that is 20301. It is including the security. So even I also give the training of the CCNA. So we are adding the VPNs and other important factors of the security part. So you will get a good knowledge of the security at this domain. And yes, guys, don't let me. I'm repeating the line that certification several times. And trust me, no jobs are depend on certification. No jobs. Okay, no jobs are depend on the certification. It's all about your knowledge. And when you have words with the anyone from the NG, we always talk about the real time. We always talk about the real time. So this is something that we call a conceptual knowledge from the outside of the world. And you won't get the best answer until we have something from the real time. And soon I will call in, but let me check what do we learn in cybersecurity. I already shared with Vivek the programs in my previous slide. Why is the firewall important for network security? Because firewall is something that filter your traffic that is coming from the outer world, disrupt your SINA. So firewall is something very important part, playing an important role there, because your router and switches or the other devices are not capable to filter at that level. And the new vendors are giving more flexibility to filter your traffic at a very good level. Are these concepts from any vendor specific firewall? Are the concepts same for any? Not exactly. Yeah, concepts are almost same. They are as I told you, Abhishek. They are filtering the traffic. Okay, so the things are different. The ways are different. Rest of the almost things are same. We cannot say that it's very difficult if you learn checkpoint. So you cannot. It will be very difficult for you to learn Palo Alto. No. Once you start with any ASA, checkpoint, Palo, or the FortiGate, so that you can easily understood. That will be not a big deal. It's really an easy task for you. Yes. So let me end up my part with the simple thing that post-corona impact on our domain. That is this domain, network security. Guys, the day lockdown announces something in the market which is running actually, so is your VPN connection. You people, I hope most of you are working somewhere from your home or the work from home you're using. So that is something you got in a VPN connection, or you simply call it in the layman language, I will say work from home. You got the work from home. And when you are working from home, you never know, you can't believe that you are working on the public network. By using the public network, what internet connection you have, you may have an Airtel, the local vendor you have, or you may have anyone, be it anything, any internet provider. You're connecting your laptop by sitting at your home to the public network, and you are easily accessible to your company's internal network. You are connecting. So how come this is possible? All it is possible because of the network security professional. So what I want to say, or in this single line, I want to say that something which every domain in this world, or I mean to say the entire globe, is covered with the the session part or whatever you want to go. People got fired, something like that. But there's something what we call the network security domain. They got actual requirement. They got actual requirement after getting this lockdown because of this work from home. The load is very much high on the security guys because they are someone who give the access from what we call this guy who's sitting at his home and to this particular place. So we require this firewall and other networking concept, network security firewalls and the other networking concept to make it secure. So this is something I want to share with you guys, and let's invite someone from the real-time environment. And I have one of my recommended guy, Mr. Mohit Sehgal from the real-time world, and I would like to invite him to give a brief about it. Let me share my video with you before ending it up. I mean to say before inviting Mr. Mohit Sehgal. I don't think so. My video is not visible. I think yes, it is visible, but there's a lot anything written on my face. Yes, guys. So this is something that we have shared, and now I would like to invite Mohit, and let's discuss about it. Mohit, it would be a pleasure to calling you on the screen and having a brief about the over this domain. So Mohit, over to you. Can you help us, my viewers, about this all what I have shared in the real time scenario? ये सारी चीजें real world में कैसे कितनी मेरी जो बातें हैं वो कहाँ तक genuine है या maybe I am not working right now in the real time environment, so I must have something that to update. So I would like to ask Mohit to just update my attendees and me as well over the same. To you, Mohit. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah. Hi, Nitin, and hi, everyone. First of all, thank you for conducting this kind of webinar. This is first kind of webinar, I think, give you insight what is good for your career and how we can achieve our career goal. So just let me introduce myself. I have 15 years of experience and all around knowledge in multiple domains, from application security to vulnerability testing and penetration testing. In my 15 years of career, I got a chance to work with multiple domains, with multiple customers like banking, retail, IT, telecom, and healthcare industries. So this is all about, and because every customer has different need, and got a chance to work with multiple vendors. So Nitin has clearly spoken about that we should start from beginning. So it doesn't matter. There is no linear path for success in the cyber security. So wherever you are from, if you are from multiple or different background, it doesn't matter you are from IT or from any other world. It's first of all it is required to get the knowledge of that technology first. Then move on to the certification. When I say certification, it means first acquire the knowledge like what is firewall, and Nitin has totally cleared that we should start from CCNA. Why CCNA is required? That is the first question. Because if you will move directly to the firewall, because firewall works on layer 7, and if you don't have any understanding about the layer 2 or layer 3 and layer 4 application and that layer, then you cannot move and you understand the L7, right? So that's why Nitin suggested that we should start from CCNA, and it is completely true. Because if you have a complete understanding of layer 3 and TCP/IP, how does it move from one layer to another layer, how we can protect multiple layers, then it is better to get visibility of layer 7. Because in the market there are multiple vendors available, like Palo Alto, Fortinet, Checkpoint. So now next question comes, which vendor should I choose? I think Nitin had a question from one attendee. Which vendor should I choose? So from my experience and my perspective, we should consider two things before choosing any vendor. First is Gartner report. We should always check what is the best in Gartner, or who is the best customer choice in the Gartner. And second one is NSS Lab. Gartner is purely depend on the customer's feedback, and the real-time environment, and they conduct multiple seminars and interviews with the customer and get their visibility on that, and then publish the reports that which is the best vendor. When we talk about the NSS lab, it purely gives you an insight what is the actual performance of that vendor. So these are two parameters we should always consider when we are choosing the any vendor, right?
Indeed.
So as per
Right.
my experience, I think Palo Alto and Fortinet is doing good in this cybersecurity market. So you can choose from any vendor.
You mean to say the Palo Alto and the FortiGate is something that having the what we call the trust in the market in terms of these enterprises, all these companies that are giving services or the people are making, these companies are preparing their data centers, so they are using the firewalls from these two vendors, the recommended one. So can we have the idea about it if you can share with us why? Because ASA is something Cisco, which is a Cisco product, and ASA the new version next generation firewall, which is the Firepower. So they are like it is something which is very old, and these guys, the FortiGate and the Checkpoint guys, they are working in NetScaler. I think they are friends and they started the company, right? So this story are very very new in the market. Everyone aware of the story of these vendors, but how come they become very trustworthy in the market in very less period of time, even though Cisco something like already acquired the market? Can you just give us the light on it?
Yeah, sure. Because Cisco has a multiple options. They have a wide ocean in security and network field. So their focus is not on the firewall only. They have multiple things, and they have visibility to acquire new technologies. So they are more focused on the acquiring the technology and acquiring the company. While these are the vendors, they have started from their own, and this is and firewall is their bread and butter. If they wouldn't focus on these markets, then they cannot survive. But just for the multiple things, they can survive. Right, so that's why they focused on this market. And in terms of firewall, if we talk about in the early years, there was simple firewall which used to do layer 3 filtering, guide of port and port-based scanning and protocol-based scanning. But now we're talking about the next generation firewall. So in the next generation firewall, Fortinet and Palo Alto has gained a very good reputation in the market because of their visibility. For an example, I'll give you a real-time environment. Because in this lockdown, because you discussed about the lockdown, this lockdown has drastically changed the landscape of the cybersecurity for any organization. Now, in the future, you will see that customer will or organization will move towards the cloud, but it would not be the complete cloud. That it would be a hybrid cloud kind of solution. So you need to focus on your data center as well and your cloud, because most of the application you cannot move on the cloud because cloud is not secure, 100% secure.
That much
Right?
secure, yeah.
So right, so Palo Alto has launched the first ML and AI based firewall. So it shows their visibility and the focus on the NGFW market. And Fortinet is the vendor who introduced SD-WAN, the secure defined WAN, wide area network in their firewall. So it gives you an insight what these companies are doing and why we should acquire the certification of these technologies.
Right. So we have the SD-WAN facility from SDN in SD-WAN in FortiGate as well in other vendors. We have this option of just opt this training of the SD-WAN in other vendors as well, right?
Right. So Palo Alto has just introduced the SD-WAN, but Fortinet has 2-3 years back they have introduced SD-WAN in their FortiGate products, and the technology is matured enough, and there are multiple customers who are using SD-WAN, Fortinet SD-WAN as a security solution. There are an independent vendor of SD-WAN as well in the market, like Cisco Meraki. But if you have a branch offices, then definitely there would be a less IT experienced guy who cannot manage multiple vendors. So it would be better if you go with a single vendor who can provide the security as well as SD-WAN solution.
Meraki is something that Cisco bought this company Meraki, right? This Cisco.
Yeah, this is a Cisco company which performs SD-WAN and Wi-Fi solutions.
So Mohit, it's like as per the Gartner report, FortiGate is something in the market. It's changed the environment. It's running really well. And trust me, I have seen that most of the people are not aware with this part. So that is something shocking for me. That FortiGate, why FortiGate is something that doing really good in the market.
Because I told you that because NGFW as a firewall is their bread and butter, so therefore they're more focused on that part. right? And you will see the Gartner report since last 10 years, Fortinet is the leader market. Palo Alto is also in the leader market. That's why I told you that Palo Alto and Fortinet is better. Checkpoint is also in leader market, but you need a good technical skills to manage the checkpoint because it's a three-tier architecture and it is very difficult to manage the multiple appliances. While Fortinet checkpoint give a single glass of pane where you can manage multiple firewalls through a single management platform like FortiManager, and from Palo Alto it's a Panorama, so you can manage multiple appliances.
Okay, that's great, Mohit. So Mohit, let's say you already having a good experience. Okay, you have good experience in the. I believe you have experience in network data as well. Then you are currently working at very good level in a well-renowned multinational company, working as an security engineer. So what will be the initial level requirement? Let's say let's take an example. You have something some requirement in your company for the L1 or the L2. What will be your preference from the candidate? मतलब एक बहुत बेसिक सा लेट मी रिपीट इन हिंदी कि बड़ा बेसिक सा क्वेश्चन रहता है बच्चों का कि यार मैं कंपनी में जाऊंगा, वो इंस्टीट्यूट जाते हैं, अलग अलग इंस्टीट्यूट्स में जाते हैं, सब उसको नए नए सर्टिफिकेशंस बेचते हैं, उसको कहते हैं ये सर्टिफिकेशन कर लो, ये कर लो, ऐसा ट्रैक बना के देते हैं. तो मोहित क्या कहता है, मतलब मोहित के पास जब एक रिक्वायरमेंट आती है, जब मोहित की टीम में रिक्वायरमेंट आती है, उनको L1 L1 प्लस L2, लेट्स से एक मिक्स सा मुझे एग्जांपल बता दो कि हाउ मोहित चूज द राइट प्रोफाइल फॉर दैट, या आपकी टीम कैसे डिसाइड करती है?
Right. So आप किसी भी कंपनी में जाएंगे then you will see every candidate should have knowledge of TCP/IP. This is basic. TCP/IP, DNS, DSCP, how layers work, how we can protect, what kind of risk at every layer. So which you can gain insight by doing CCNA. That's why I recommended CCNA is must. Because if you are doing anything, if you don't know the ABCD, then you cannot go with the word and sentences. Right? So it is must. Now come to the next level. The candidate should have at least knowledge of two firewalls. One load balancer, it would be added advantage, and proxy. He should have understanding how does proxy work, what is proxy, how does DNS work, how DSCP work. So these kind of basic understanding he should have. But at least we want to vendor certification or to knowledge of two firewalls. Now, why when I say two firewall, why do we recommend two firewalls? When we design data center, it is always recommended that there should be a two level of security, because in the data center there are layered defense where we have a multiple layered. You have already mentioned that it should be a firewall, load balancer, IDS, IPS, and SIM solution and DDoS kind of solution, web application firewall. There are multiple layers. So there is a perimeter security, that is first, which is your entrance. Then it is a network local firewall, or you can say the LAN firewall you require. So when we say two firewall, why do we choose two firewall in a data center? Because if there is a vulnerability in one vendor, it could be because there is no 100%, you cannot commit 100% is nowhere, right? So if there is a vulnerability in one vendor, if there is a vulnerability in perimeter firewall, so that at least your network, your internal LAN could be secure because you have a different vendor, right? That's why we ask for at least you should have a certification or knowledge of two vendors.
Okay, so this is how it works. So I have already seen that you talk about the IPS. अभी मैंने देखा that CCNM basically जो what we are delivering, CCNP sorry, CCNP the concentration exam, they are giving the two types of what we call the knowledge. One is for the firepower firewall, another is the IPS. So what exactly is IPS? Difference between IPS and this firewall?
Yeah, firewall is a if we talk about the simple firewall, so what firewall does? Firewall is there is a when packet flows from one side to another side, there are five things which it generally inside. One is for source port, destination port, source source address, destination address, and protocol. Right. This is a simple firewall. How does it work? It scans these five things. If it matches all the configuration, all the settings, then it passes the traffic. Otherwise, it blocks the traffic. This is a simple firewall definition. And what was the question? I just missed.
IPS and firewall.
IPS. So when it comes to the IPS, it's a layer 7 attack because this is because you are using multiple applications in your network, right? It's like you are using Microsoft Word, Adobe, and multiple applications you are using, right? So every application could have a vulnerability, and the hackers and threat agents has a target to find out these vulnerabilities and then find the risk on how they can penetrate your network, right? So if we talk about application, so every application has vulnerability. So every firewall has a defined application signatures for this application to protect from these attacks. So in the past, there is a simple static signatures were there, but in the recent market, there are dynamic or behavioral based signature as well. So Palo Alto is very good in that. It can understand the behavior of that application, and then if it is not according to that behavior, it can protect and block that application. Just an example, I give you a very basic example. If you want to block a Gchat, Google Chat, or Facebook Chat in your organization, right? So if you block it on a port base, right? It will not work. You cannot block it on port base because it works in layer 7. So you should have a defined application signatures on the firewall, right? So that's why we call it application control. So you should have that application so that if it is changing, randomly changing the port, and just because this chatting Facebook and YouTube can access or use the port 80, which is always allowed in your network for communicating. So what IPS and application does, it just understand the behavior of that, understand the pattern of that behavior of that application, and then block on the basis of the behavior. So that's why we require IPS and application control in the.
What I understood now, we can block the particular application. So previously we are not dependent on the port numbers only. Yeah. Okay. So this is something this is something really nice. Okay. So let me pick the questions as well. Guys, start asking the question, please. So we are coming to the end. And maybe we have the question that if someone has the certification on Checkpoint and FortiGate, does these two are enough to start with, or Palo Alto is recommend along with this vendor? So Mohit, you would like to answer this question?
Yeah, definitely. No, you don't require to go with or change every vendor. You should have understanding, right? Because every firewall works in the same manner. Their working could be different. Their working pattern could be different. Like, or they can use different technology. Like Palo Alto use PPP. They call it parallel processing path, parallel processing kind of thing, parallel path processing. So and Fortinet is based on the ASIC base. So, but technology is same, right? The concept behind this technology or this concept is same. They are scanning, they are just opening the packet, scanning scanning that behavior and the signature of that packet, and then taking decision on top of that. So you don't require to chase every vendor. Cisco and Checkpoint, whatever you have, it is good to go with.
Okay.
But if you can go proxy and load balancer knowledge, then it would be a added advantage for you.
It's just like an add-on cheese on your pizza topping, right? Along with the pizza topping.
It's just like ice on a cake, yeah.
That's great. We have another questions as well, like future of Palo Alto.
Definitely, it's very great because I told you that the Palo Alto is the first vendor who introduced ML, machine learning and AI in their NGA Palo firewall. And recently they have launched Prisma Access. Prisma Access is that because every organization is moving towards cloud, and because we are working from home and we have a remote users, right? So we should have a same policies to everyone. So if either we are accessing the cloud or either we are accessing the data center, application should be or the policy should be the same across the users. So Prisma Access provides you that kind of scalability and configuration options that you can define the enterprise-wise policy, and it can protect your network, right? So what is the biggest challenge in the cloud when we are talking about cloud is the identity theft, right? Because we all are aware that we cannot remember all the passwords. So what we do, we just define a simple password, right? And which is a cake for the hackers. So they always track or always target that audience who is defining a simple passwords, right? So Palo Alto Prisma provides you that kind of flexibility that you can, if you are using a dictionary word and kind of thing, so it can protect you that identity from identity theft.
Okay. So we have another amazing question from the guy, the Abhishek. Like, is there what is the question? Let me check. I missed that question. He just want to know that the concept is same, all the firewall having the same concept, Like I have seen this many places, many students having the same questions.
Definitely, the concept is same. The GUI is different because if you have to create a policy, right? Policy creation would be different, would be same. What we will define in the policy, right? What would the source IP, source interface, destination IP, destination interface, and the protocol what you want to allow or block. On top of that, you will define security profiles, kind like AV scanning, IPS scanning, web filtering, application control, STD, SSL inspection. So the pattern is same, right? So behavior is same, working is same. The difference is how they are doing differently, right? Because SSL inspection or the how many signatures they have to scan their firewall, right? It is different. Otherwise, in the background, they are doing the same thing. They are just opening a packet, checking the behavior, checking the pattern of that file, and then scanning the packet and then delivering it, right?
Filtering,
So
just
it is
simple.
better, yeah, same thing. Categorization could be different. If we talk about web filter, categorization could be different. One firewall could have 76 categories, one firewall could have 84 categories. The categorization could be different, but whatever. And the next option is why then how we choose these firewalls. Because every firewall vendor has their support team. How frequently or how uh, proactively they are working, it depends, right? So we should always check. That's why I recommended that we should go with Gartner and NSF Lab to choose any vendor.
Okay. So another question we have from the Sudhir, like which is the better Fortinet or the Palo Alto?
Because there is we cannot follow the one size fits for all, right? So it depends. When you are recommending a firewall to a customer, we always first check what is their requirement. We understand the requirement of the vendor or the customer. What does actually he wants? What is his budget? What type of application they are filtering? On top of that, we define that which firewall would be best suited for us. So Fortinet, Palo Alto, both are good because Fortinet is just cheap solution in comparison to Palo Alto. So if customer has a little budget and he is asking for a better security, we can obviously go with Fortinet. If customer has a big budget and he's uh, stick to the Palo Alto, and that's we can propose Palo Alto.
Indeed,
It depends on
indeed,
customer
Mohit.
to customer and the requirement.
Yeah.
It's
So
just a
Sudhir, I would
real kind of example I'm giving you.
yeah. Sudhir, I would recommend you to go for the both Fortinet and Palo Alto. You will get a better career in that part. Yeah. Does
Definitely.
Palo Alto has something to do with cyber security? This question has been asked by the Vivek. Does Palo Alto has something to do with the cyber security?
Yes, definitely. I told you that Prisma Access. Prisma Access, what is that? What is it? What is it? Is definitely cyber security. So first of all, we need to understand what is cyber security, because cyber security, I think Nitin already told you, it's an ocean, right? So cyber security is to defending or to protect your computer, servers, your IT infrastructure, your mobile devices, your electronic communication system. Everything comes under cyber security, right? Cybersecurity, there are multiple branches, or you can say you can define the cybersecurity into multiple domains like network security, information security, operational security, disaster management and BCP, business continuity planning, and the last and the least, the not the least, that is the employee awareness, right? So customer education and employee awareness is very good. So it is always said that employee is the weakest point in the organization. So we should always make sure that they are aware, and we should always be cope with the new technology, what is going in the market. So we should always read the new, we should always listen this kind of webinar. I think Nitin has already, or I've already explained that. Nitin, this is your fantastic, fantastic starting to conduct this kind of webinar. So you can
Yeah.
join this kind of webinar. You can follow Nitin on LinkedIn and Facebook. So you will get a better insight.
Being a consultant, you have certain idea about the product. Being basically to be Mohit, I think you don't have an idea. From the beginning of my career, I'm a student of CCI security. So just after my graduation, I joined the CCI security, and trust me, guys, this is not the right choice to go for this much higher certification directly like CCI from the very basic level. You should have a plan of action. Like Mohit said, there are different requirements in the market. We have different vendors, like not in terms of the vendor of the firewall. Here, the companies that enterprises or the companies that hiring for, okay, they have different perspective to hiring. So just understood the requirement running in the market, not just be focused on the certifications only. So how much you agree with me, Mohit, in terms of this certification part?
Definitely, knowledge is must, because you can see that I should not say this, but certification you can buy, but knowledge you cannot buy, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So we have one more one
So
question from the Agni.
first acquire
Let
the
me.
knowledge. First acquire the knowledge of that technology, and then go to the certification.
Yeah. So let me pick a question. Thank you from Agnev. Cybersecurity and network security are two different paths as per the certificate. So if someone is in network security and wants to move into cybersecurity, any different module that person needs to follow, or same working knowledge is enough to move on from network security? Yes, same working knowledge would be feasible for you to reach out in any of the certification. Like you can plan for the CISSP, even though after CCI security people are doing the CISSP because of these package or with the different perspective. I believe Mohit is also agree with me, or he can share his views on the same question.
It definitely is. Network security is a subset of cybersecurity, right? So when we say network security, so what is our network, right? Router, switches, firewall, this all comes under network security. But when we talk about the cyber security, so it comes your data, your mobile devices, your electronic communication system, everything comes in the cyber security. So if you have a knowledge of network security, you can definitely move to the cyber security. And it would be better because cyber is a future. So first acquire the knowledge of network security, application security, and move towards the cyber security.
Great. So I'm picking the last question. We are running out of the time. So this question is like, let me pick the one. Okay, let's take this one. As being a part of Palo Alto Tech, what certification would be best here? You can plan for the PCNSC and then choose another firewall as well, Vivek. That would be best to go. Being a consultant, I would suggest you to go with that part only. And what I'm watching the requirement in the market, and it is going in favor of this particular quote, what I have shared with you. And if you already having the experience, like you working the tech, so that is like an add-ons, something what we call the topping on the cake. So this is in a good part. So you can plan accordingly. And so guys, I hope you enjoy this webinar. And anything, Mohit, in the end, you want to share with this attendees something, the last line?
The, yeah, the one thing, always focus to gain or acquire the knowledge. Don't chase the certification. Definitely it gives you a platform where you can jump on, because first of all, you need to get a platform. Once you get a platform, then you need a jump. Certification will help you to get that jump, right? Because if you don't have certification, then if you go for an interview, everyone asks for the certification. So first acquire the knowledge, because if you have a certification and you cannot uh, face the interview, you cannot answer the simple basic questions about L3 and L2, what is L3, L2. So there is no meaning to gain the certification. So first acquire the knowledge and certificate, then go with the certification.
Perfect. Exactly right. I can give what Mohit said, जो कि मैं हमेशा I used to speak about the same, कि यार knowledge is something, knowledge needs no certification. आप certification दिखाएंगे, then you need to just you need to explain yourself, you need to justify yourself. Okay, but if you have the knowledge, you don't need any kind of thing. Okay, certification is something that companies also deliver. जो focus करना है ना, the end of the day. So focus on the knowledge. Knowledge is most welcome by everyone. आप किसी भी कंपनी में चले जाओ, if I am working, I am just running in a company, definitely I love to hire the guys who's having the experience or the knowledge. मतलब कई बार एक्सपीरियंस मैटर करता है तो कई बार नॉलेज मैटर करती है, बट दोनों साथ में हो तो बहुत बेटर है. और ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि इफ यू डोंट हैव एक्सपीरियंस तो आपको यू विल नॉट गेट एन अ बेटर करियर. एक अच्छी स्टार्ट, एक अच्छी गाइडेंस. ट्रस्ट मी गाइस, ये गाइडेंस वर्ड से मुझे कुछ याद आया कि गाइडेंस इज समथिंग वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इन मार्केट. सो कलेक्ट मोर एंड मोर नॉलेज अबाउट दी प्रोडक्ट्स. ठीक है, पढ़ना तो है ही, but तो आप यू लाइक डूइंग ऑल दिस थिंग फ्रॉम द वेरी बेसिक and from the very basic level. Yes, Mr. Sumit Kumar Rathod, you will get the certification. Everyone will get the certification after completion of this. When you just we just over this this webinar, it will be automatically within 1 hour you will get the certificate of this webinar. Yeah. So this is something, knowledge is something which is always welcome, guys. When if I'm talking about a decade before, I was like a student like you. आप में से जितने बच्चे, काफी सारे बच्चे जैसे स्टूडेंट हो गया. Start my CCNA, CCNA security, CCNP security, CCI security. That is something that running in the market. उस टाइम वो डिमांड में था, वो बिक रहा था. I can use the word which is in the top in selling. We are the students. उस टाइम मैं था, आज आप हो. तो आज मैं वो सेम चीज रिपीट नहीं करूंगा व्हेन आई एम रनिंग माय ओन कंसल्टिंग वर्क एंड द ट्रेनिंग में। ये नहीं कहूंगा कि आप भी मैं भी उसी तरीके से प्रोडक्ट बेचूं या फिर वो बेचने वाला बॉडी बनाऊं, नहीं। आई वुड लाइक टू इनवाइट यू टू अंडरस्टूड क्या पढ़ना है, कैसे पढ़ना है स्मूथली। अगर आपका ट्रस्ट बनता है तो चूज अस, नहीं बनता तो चूज एनीवन एल्स, बट यस यू शुड बी स्पेसिफिकली क्लियर विद द मार्केट कि क्या करना चाहिए। डोंट गो ब्लाइंडली, किसी के वर्ड सुनिए और ब्लाइंडली चलेगा। लाइक वी हैव द मोहित फ्रॉम द रियल टाइम एनवायरनमेंट। I have the experience. I worked as a senior network engineer in SCL technology. I left my job, started the consulting. I placed numerous number of people, number of experience in this. You can check out the NG Networks Facebook page. बहुत बच्चे place करे हैं और जितना भी experience है, I'm sharing with you. Touchwood अच्छे experience हो गया इस चीज में. Then I'm a trainer as well and consulting, training, all managing the IT works. मतलब almost अभी अच्छे experience हो गया मुझे इस चीज के अंदर. So maybe I can suggest you well, or I love to do that. You can connect with me on the LinkedIn and you can ask any number of that questions. और इसके बाद जो भी है rest you can connect my team as well इस webinar के बाद। और still you have any question और या फिर आप कुछ भी पूछना चाहते हो तो we'll share on the details of the team email ID as well. You can connect with my counselors, they will help you out. There's nothing which is chargeable like counseling या कोई भी guidance. You can even connect with me as well. We'll shortly share the details. Okay guys, I hope you enjoy this webinar and seriously thank you for coming and joining us, and thank you Mohit, thank you very much for giving your valuable time and such an honor to have words with you. Thank you very much.
No worries. Thanks, Ajay.
Thank you. Okay guys, bye bye.
Bye.
Take care. Have a blast, have a better future. Bye bye guys. Yeah.